All right, so I plugged it back in and I tested it. Basically, you turn the power on and then you test to see if this is getting hot. And it's still warm from my test. It did get hot, which means I fixed the problem. And to recap, that was the problem. That little piece right there, it loses continuity and then it won't heat up. So you can see I put that back in place, and that's really the nuts and bolts of it. If I'm going to keep doing this, I'm going to have to get a stand to hold my phone, and I'm going to have to learn how to use the camera and the phone a little better, or buy something, because I keep stitching or keep pausing and stopping and not getting back where I'm supposed to be. So I apologize for that. Also wanted to, this is all a soldering iron is. This is the one I'm using, and honestly, this was something I got from my dad when he passed away. So it could be as old as I am. Hell, I don't know. But it obviously isn't a brand new fancy one. It works, but it might be part of the reason I struggle with some soldering, because it's old. It may not work as well as it used to. I don't know. But it still works, and I'm cheap, so I don't go buy a new one. And the reality is I don't think the new ones are that expensive. But that's in a nutshell. I'm going to put the rest of it back together without going through it with all of you guys. It's the same as it was taking it apart. The thing to note is this cost me, I'd say 2 to 3 hours of time, roughly. Maybe a little bit more because I spent time searching for that screw I dropped. And it cost me like 12 or 14 bucks for the part. It was not much. And most of that was probably shipping because, of course, it had to come from China. But so I fixed this for that. Can you go buy a new one? If you don't count your time as money, you can't buy a new one for 12 bucks. But if you say your time is 25 bucks an hour, well, yeah, you could go buy a new one. But you don't get the fun of fixing it. And as we talked about before, that goes to the landfill. Maybe we need to quit doing so much of that if we can fix stuff fairly cheap. I plan on trying to start doing this for other people if I can get any interest. And anybody who knows, any of you people out there, content producers who have good ideas on how to improve my process for filming and stitching these videos together or whatever, editing videos, I'd sure appreciate the input. Otherwise, I'll do what I always do, Google it and see what happens. Hey, you guys have a good weekend. It is Saturday here in Oregon and a little bit cloudy, but really not a bad day at all. My next process is the yard. So you guys all enjoy your weekend.